Trinity kids? How you doing? Pastor Israel here. I am excited for virtual camp. Are you excited for virtual camp? Listen, we're gonna have so much fun, and in just a few moments we're gonna join all of our Trinity kids leaders. We're gonna see where they're at as they are far away camping somewhere, and we're gonna join them in for some lessons, some memory verses, some DIY Sam, some baking with Marisol, stories from the Bible. We have so many awesome things, but before we get started, let me just say that I will be with you all week long hosting all of these episodes. Listen, after this episode and after all of our episodes are over, we're gonna jump on some live Zoom calls. Your grown-ups have the link already, and we can't wait to talk to you live and in person in just a few minutes and just laugh about the episode and talk about the episode and everything we've learned. Now, another thing is you received a special interactive bag in the mail or in person. Go ahead and get that bag. We're not gonna use everything today, but there are a few things to pay attention to. In the bag, there are 3 badges, and you have an opportunity this week to earn some badges. Now, you can't just have them, you have to earn them, and your grown-ups have some instructions, and they'll tell you how to earn your badge each day. Now, another thing to notice is in your bag, you have a colored bracelet. Guess what? We have some team color competitions. Whatever color you have is the team color that you are on. Now pay attention because some of your leaders will be wearing their color, so make sure you cheer them on. Now in a different section of our website, we have all the instructions you need to know about how to earn points for your team. And the team with the most points at the end of virtual camp will receive something cool in the mail. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss out. We have so many things in stores. We have a packet for you to make some s'mores. We have a scavenger hunt that you can go on with your grown-ups. So many awesome things. Now, let's jump right in. Let's go see where our friends are. Let me get my tracker here so we could see where they are and peek in. If I can get this thing open, oh, technology. Here we go, here we go. Oh no, it looks like our friends have found themselves in quite a bit of trouble. I hope things work out for them.
Keep going this way.
Oh my God! Seriously?
I'm pretty sure it's this way.
This is so frustrating.
Oh my God, guys, try to get some.
Thank you, Ben. We're not going the right way.
Let's just continue this way.
No.
Just continue. Look, I get the angle of the sun. I'm sure it's this way.
Do you even have a map? The map says we're going the wrong way.
Are
Oh my
you
God,
serious?
Nick! I told you it was this way. He didn't
Look.
want to listen to my direction.
We don't need maps.
my God.
I could tell. I could
No,
tell we're going the
Nick,
right way.
use the
We're
map.
lost.
You need to use the map.
We're lost.
Please use the
I
map.
don't need the map right now.
Oh my
Let's just continue on this way.
No.
Oh, come on. We gotta get to camp.
I don't think this is the right way to camp.
Let's just continue this way. If we get lost again, then you know what? Then I'm wrong.
No!
We walked so
It's too hot out there, Tyler. It's so hot.
Maybe we go this way. Maybe go this way. It'll be nice and cool. You know, we can get out of the sun. Come on, guys. Let's go to camp. Okay. I really think it's just beyond those trees over there.
No, I really don't think this is the right way. Oh, it's so cold.
At least it's not.
On the map, it says this. No, it's so cold.
I don't do good in the cold, Nick.
At least it's not hot anymore.
Please use the map. It's so cold. I can't feel my nose. Feel my toes anymore.
Okay, all right. I'll use the map this time.
Oh.
I think it's.
It's too cold. Come on. It's so cold.
This way.
Oh my gosh. Please, out of here.
Can't feel my toes.
We finally made it.
Finally. I'm glad you're here.
I should have listened to you to begin with. Like it says in Psalms 32, verse 8, I will instruct you and teach you on the way to go. I will watch you and console you with my loving eye. So I'm sorry, guys, but at least we made it. You know, this kind of reminds me about the story of Joseph in the Bible.
This is Joseph, who was the son of Israel and Rachel. But he had 11 brothers who hated him and sold him into slavery. After being put in jail, Joseph told of the future of Egypt when he interpreted Pharaoh's dreams, and Joseph found favor with the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh made Joseph a leader in his kingdom. Just as Joseph had told the Pharaoh, Egypt had 7 years of abundance. Then the 7 years of abundance came to an end, and the 7 years of famine began, just as Joseph had said. But the Egyptians had food to eat because Joseph had planned for the famine. There was famine in all the other lands, and many came to Joseph to buy food. There was even a famine in the land that Joseph came from. So when Israel heard that there was grain in Egypt, he sent his sons to buy some. But Israel did not send Benjamin with the others because he was afraid that harm might come to him. When Joseph's brothers came to him, Joseph recognized them, but he pretended to be a stranger. So Joseph decided to test his brothers. He had his interpreter tell them to send for Benjamin, who had stayed home. And then he threw his brothers in jail for 3 days. On the 3rd day, Joseph let all but one of the brothers take grain to their starving households with the instruction to bring Benjamin back. But Joseph provided for his brothers' journey and gave them grain and silver. The brothers did exactly as Joseph instructed, as they were scared that God was punishing them for what they had done to Joseph so many years before. They traveled home to their father's house, then back to Egypt. Now that he had seen that they brought Benjamin, Joseph was overwhelmed, so he released the brother who was still in prison. But Joseph decided to play one more trick on his brothers. He sent the brothers away but told his servant to hide his silver cup in Benjamin's bag. Then Joseph told the servant to go after the brothers and retrieve the cup. The brothers hadn't traveled far before the servant stopped them and accused them of stealing the cup. Joseph could no longer control himself before his attendants. He made them leave so he could be alone with his brothers, and he told his brothers who he really was. Ta-da! He told them of his life and all he had experienced, and he forgave them for what they had done. God was with Joseph and took care of him and showed him favor.
All right, guys, so let's finally set up camp.
I'm really excited to go to the lake.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
Ooh, marshmallows.
Oh, I hope there's no bears around here.
Don't worry, we'll be safe right here.
It's getting late, guys. I'm gonna turn the light. Oh no, the battery's dead. We're not gonna have a lantern. I have a great idea.
What?
Let's make a lantern. Yeah.
Hi, friends. It's so good to see you. I'm so excited to see you at camp. We're gonna do some great crafts. So, let's see what I have in my backpack. This is when you can grab your craft bag. Go ahead and get it. Let's take out day 1. Day 1. And inside, you're gonna have this, a cup, and your glow stick, and a pipe cleaner. What you need to get are scissors and glue. Let's get started with our craft. Okay, let's begin by cutting our tissue paper. Whichever color you have, go ahead and cut them into smaller squares or whichever shape you prefer. I'm gonna cut them like this. I think that's plenty of paper. So, let's go ahead and start gluing. You're gonna grab your glue. I like to put it all the way across. You can start gluing your pieces nicely around. You can make a pattern. You can get creative and do it how you like. You can create any pattern you like, and you can do random. Whatever makes you happy. We're gonna cover the whole cup. And it's a little messy. We can wash our hands out. Okay, let's keep gluing. And when you're finished, please ask an adult to help you with this next step. We're going to be making 2 holes across from each other. Guardians, please. Once your grown-ups have made a hole, let's grab our pipe. We're going to put one end over here, and we're going to twist it around. So you have one side secure. Now, let's put the other one. And twist. This is our lantern. You get to crack your glow stick. Thank you for joining me. See you for the next craft. I'm so glad we finally made it to camp, guys. I thought we were never gonna make it. We kept getting lost.
I know, right? It seemed like we were never going to get here. But I really enjoyed that story we learned about Joseph. What about you guys?
Yeah, things didn't look good for Joseph, but in the end, God came through and guided him.
The part that stuck out to me was the scripture verse Psalm 32:8, where it says He is our guide, because I remember in the beginning we really got lost and I just felt like we weren't going to make it, but God came through like He always does. Get ready to sing with me, okay? Everyone needs compassion, a love that's never fading. Let mercy fall on me. Everyone needs forgiveness, the kindness of a Savior. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, forever, author of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave. So take me as you find me. So take me as you find me. All my fears and failures, and fill my life again. I give my life to follow everything I believe in. And now I surrender. Now I surrender. Savior, the Savior, He can move the mountains. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, author of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave. Sing it again. The Savior, He can move the mountains. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, author of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave. Let's sing this part really soft, okay? Shine your light. Shine your light and let the whole world see. For the glory of the risen King. One more time, really soft. Shine your light and let the whole world see. We're singing for the glory of the risen King. Really loud. Shine your light and let the whole world see. We're singing for the glory of the risen King. Jesus, shine your light and let the whole world see. We're singing for the glory of the risen King. One more time. Jesus, shine your light and let the whole world see. We're singing for the glory of the risen King. Jesus, Savior, He can move the mountains. And my God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, forever, author of salvation. And He rose and conquered the grave. And Jesus conquered the grave. One more time. The Savior, He can move the mountains. And my God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. And forever, author of salvation. And He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave. Good job, guys. Thanks for singing along with me. We're gonna do another song, and it's called Came to My Rescue. to seek your face. Lord, all I am is yours. My whole life. My whole life I place in your hands. God of mercy, humbled I bow down in your presence at your throne. Ready? Chorus. And I call, you answer. And you came to my rescue, and I wanna be where you are. Let's sing that one more time. And I call, you answer. And you came to my rescue, and I wanna be where you are. Falling on my knees. Falling on my knees in worship, giving all I am to see your face. Lord, all I am is yours. My whole life. And my whole life I placed in your hands. God of mercy, humbled I bow down in your presence at your throne. Ready to sing the chorus again? And I call, you answer. And you came to my rescue, and I wanna be where you are. One more time. And I call, you answer. And you came to my rescue, and I wanna be where you are. In my life. In my life, be lifted high in our world. Be lifted high in our love. Be lifted high. Let's sing that again, okay? In my life, be lifted high in our world. Be lifted high in our love. Be lifted high. One more time. In my life, be lifted high in our world. Be lifted high in our love. Be lifted high. And I call, you answer. And you came to my rescue, and I wanna be where you are. One more time. And good job, guys. Thanks for singing along with us. We appreciate you.
What an awesome day. How about we end it with a nice bedtime story around the campfire? We're going to read The Bernstein Bears Say Their Prayers. It was bedtime in the Bears family's treehouse. Bedtime after a long, busy day. Little Honey Bear was already asleep in her crib. Brother and sister were ready for bed too. They were bathed and they had their pajamas on. Mama and Papa were done reading them their bedtime stories. But there was one last thing to do before they went to sleep. It was time for brother and sister to kneel down beside their bunk bed and say their prayers. Bless Mama, bless Papa, bless Honey Bear, bless Grizzly Gramps, bless Grizzly Gran, bless Cousin Fred, Uncle Willie, and Aunt Min. Some evenings, they added a few more blessings like, bless our friends Lizzie and Barry, or bless Teacher Jane and Teacher Bob. But when they started adding bless Mayor Honeypot and Police Chief Bruno, Mama and Papa decided to draw the line. Mama and Papa were falling asleep before the Cubs' prayers were over. Tonight, when Mama and Papa were giving the Cubs their goodnight kisses, Brother asked a question. It was a question that he had been thinking about for a while. Mama, he said, why do we say our prayers before we go to sleep? I was at Barry Bruin's house for a sleepover last week, and he doesn't say his prayers at all. Some people just don't believe in saying prayers, said Mama, but we pray at night so we can thank God for the blessings of the day. Do you and Papa always say your prayers before you go to sleep? Asked Sister, half asleep in her upper bunk. Not exactly, said Mama. These days, Mama and Papa were so tired at bedtime that they just flopped down and were snoring almost before their heads hit the pillow. But I think it would be a good idea if we got in the habit again, Mama nudged Papa. Don't you agree, Papa? Huh? He said, trying to stay awake. Oh, right, absolutely. Good night now, said Mama. Sweet dreams. Brother Bear, as he drifted off in the sleepy darkness. Mama's answer was okay, but he still had a few questions. The next morning, Brother and sister were up bright and early. It was Saturday, and they had a little league game. Their team was called the Sharks. They had a cool logo on their shirts, a big shark mouth full of sharp teeth. I feel hot today, said sister, tying her shoes. I feel a whole lot of hits and stolen bases coming on. Oh yeah, snorted brother. What about home runs? I guess I'll have to take care of that department. Sure, said sister, punching him in the arm. Brother Bear, the home run king. She ran laughing out of the room with Brother Bear chasing her. Sister and brother liked playing on the same team, but sometimes they just got a little too competitive. After breakfast, the whole family headed down to the ball field. Brother and sister had practiced before the game. It was Mama and Papa's turn to help with the snack bar. Papa was going to cook the hamburgers and hot dogs on the grill. Mama was going to sell candy and popcorn. Even Honey Bear would help out. It was her job to eat the leftover cotton candy. Papa soon had the grill behind the snack bar fired up. Mama opened up the candy stand and Honey Bear started to get into the cotton candy. The team ran out on the field for practice. Brother was playing shortstop and sister was at second base. Up on the mound, Cousin Fred would handle the pitching. Fred was a solid pitcher, but he had been struggling of late. His last 2 games were pretty shaky. Today, they were up against the Pumas. The Pumas' uniforms weren't quite as cool as the Sharks, but the Pumas were one of the best teams in the league. The Sharks would have their work cut out for them. Since the Sharks were their first home team, the Pumas were up first. Their leadoff batter was a big, powerful cub about twice Brother's size. He was twirling 6 bats around his head in the warm-up circle as if they were a bunch of twigs. Uh-oh, said Brother. Look who it is. Sister gulped. It was the Beast, the Puma's best player. He could hit and field and pitch. They didn't know his real name. They just called him the Beast. Brother glanced over at Fred on the mound. He had noticed too. He was taking off his hat to wipe his forehead. He looked pretty nervous out there. "Play ball," called the ump, and the game was on. The Beast picked out a bat from his bunch and stepped onto the batter's box. He took some warm-up swings and pounded his bat on the plate. He glared at Fred on the mound. Brother noticed that Fred wasn't glaring back. In fact, he was standing quite still. His head bowed and his hands folded. It looked like his eyes were closed and his lips seemed to be moving. "Psst, Fred," called Brother. "What's up?" But Fred didn't answer. He straightened up, took a deep breath, and went into his windup. He fired a fastball. There was a swish and a thump. The Beast had missed. "Strike one," called the ump. "Way to go, Freddy, baby," yelled Brother. "That's the way to pitch 'em in there. Just 2 more like that. You can do it." It was the sort of thing you always yell to encourage the pitcher. But Brother really believed that Freddy Baby could do it. It turned out that Freddy Baby could. There was another swish and another thump. "Strike 2, yelled the ump. The other swish and a thump. "Strike 3, called the ump. "You're out." The batter had gone down swinging. The crowd in the stands cheered. The Beast kicked the dirt in disgust as he trudged back to the dugout. Fred didn't look nervous anymore. Now that it was batter's turn to look nervous, Fred threw 6 more fastballs to 2 more batters. There were 6 swishes and 6 thumps. Cousin Fred had struck out the side. "That was some pitching, Fred," said Brother later on as they sat on the bench waiting up to go bat. "Thanks," said Fred. But there was something else on Brother's mind. "I was wondering, Fred," began Brother, "what were you doing out there with your head down like that?" "Oh," shrugged Fred, a little embarrassed. "I was just praying." "Praying?" said Brother in surprise. "What were you praying for? Strikeouts?" Before Fred could answer, it was his turn to bat. He trotted out of the dugout, leaving Brother still wondering. I'm getting tired. Are you getting tired? Why don't we finish this tomorrow night? See you then.
Oh, these guys. Oh, hey, did you enjoy the episode? I just saw it. So much fun. I can't believe Nick took him through the Sahara and the Arctic. What was he thinking? But the learning lesson there is that he is our guide. Aren't you happy that we have a God that guides us in life? I also love the story we learned about Joseph and how his life looked like he was lost in life. He was just headed to prison and he worked at a home as a slave. Can you believe that? But God knew what he was doing. Listen, I hope you had a lot of fun. Don't forget, we have a Zoom call happening in a little bit, so make sure your grown-ups get you ready for that. And then remember to head over to the team challenge section so you could earn team points for your team. What color did you get? Let me see. Lift up your bracelets. What color did you get? That's right. So don't forget to earn some points for your team, because the team with the most points at the end of virtual camp will receive something cool in the mail. Don't forget, there's still a lot of great things to do. You can go on a nature hike with your grown-up. Make sure you go on to our team challenge section to get all of those cool things. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.